Good evening, everybody. We're just going to wait a couple of seconds, about a minute or so, and see if anyone else joins us. I think I'll take this opportunity to get my phone on Do Not Disturb. Let's see here. There we go. Let's just make sure we're streaming. Yep, it looks like the stream is going through. There we go. All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the 63rd episode of the Blind Tech Guys podcast. And today is Saturday, the 5th of December in some parts of the world, and other parts of the world, it is Sunday, 6th of December. So wherever this finds you, a very happy day to you, and we hope that you are doing fantastic. I see here we have some comments from Harshid. He says, hey there. Hello, Harshid. Tabitha says, howdy. And hello, Tabitha. I'm very glad you're on. Looks like we've got 4 people watching. Again, I appreciate it. If you like this video, that you hit the like button. If you want to share it out, feel free to do that. If you want to leave your comments, do that. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be very helpful as well. All right. Well, as you've noticed, we are missing a few people here today. Warren is, well, we've got Austin. He's in NVDA Con. Warren has got a lot of things on his plate at the moment. He may or may not rejoin us. Marco may or may not pop in, and that's just where we're at. So I just want to say to all of them that hope you're doing well, and hopefully we see you in here at some point. And that's okay. Marco will be part of this interview that we have going on here. So what we have today, we have a number of items that we're going to talk about. We've got some news items, of course. We have a demo, or rather an interview with Karthik from Envision. He came back to join us to talk about some of the latest updates to the Envision app. He also has some exciting news from Envision's side, so you want to listen to that. And, of course, the new glasses that have been released. Then, at that point, we're going to be talking about a giveaway that we're going to be doing, actually 2 giveaways, and I'll talk about some of those details at the end of the Envision. Let's see here. We're going to do an Envision interview, and then after that, I'll do a demo of a couple of those features, or at least we'll try to, and I'll show what does and does not work. So we'll try to do a demo of some of those features. And then at that point, we'll talk a little bit about a couple of giveaways that we're going to do as part of being on this channel and subscribing to the podcast. And it looks like we have 7 people watching now, so thank you again if you're just joining us for the live stream. Definitely appreciate you. Well, shouldn't say us at the moment. It is me. But then we have, I don't know if we have any listener emails, but I'll go ahead and take a look at that. And that is the podcast for today. So, see if we have any other comments. You do not. Okay. So, what's new in the news? The first article comes essentially from XDA. And this is a ADB tool, essentially. So, if you are familiar with ADB, you have to install ADB on your computer, and you have to make sure the drivers on it working and all that, and you have to find where to download it, and then you have to download it, and you have to go into command line, and I don't know. Some people, for whatever reason, have difficulties with this process. Now, if you are using, if you've heard of the Flash tool, there's something similar that is a new, and the Flash tool will allow you to flash AOSP builds of Android on, for example, Pixel devices using a website. Now, there's a new tool that has been released. It's sort of similar to this, the ADB tool. It lets you run certain commands through the web. And I'll just talk a little bit about what it lets you do. It lets you do APK installation. It lets you do interact with shell, screen recording, SCRCPY. So control your device from your browser, device information, and file manager. And it can also enable ADB over Wi-Fi. So this essentially is just like a portal that gives you some of the basic things that you can do with ADB, and it uses the web interface for that. So I'll have an article in the show notes on that. You can definitely check that out. I think it's definitely something good to make accessing ADB a wee bit easier. This next article is kind of interesting here. Here's why Google kills a lot of its products. And it's kind of an interesting read. I'm not going to go too much into detail, essentially, but it has to do with, of course, the structure of how Google works. And this is what this article talks about here. So there's been a lot of words written on the internet, on the products and services Google has killed off over the years. They've definitely, probably you guys are affected by some of the things they've killed off. Now, one of the problems that they've got going is Google's really large. And so the way it's constructed is it's split up into a lot of smaller teams, essentially. Those teams have a different kind of focus that they focus on and things that they do. And sometimes that focus changes. Sometimes it gets brought into a different team, or a new manager comes in, or whatever it might be. And sometimes you have products that do get killed off, but actually a lot of their features get baked into other apps. For instance, Inbox was one app that a lot of people really liked, and a lot of the features from Inbox got rolled into the Gmail app. So, essentially, if you really liked Inbox, then a lot of those features really got taken over by Gmail. So that's kind of how things work. But anyway, I'll leave that article in the show notes and definitely let you check that out. And we'll put that in the show notes in the YouTube as well at the end of this. It looks like we have 11 people watching, so thank you so much for being here. Again, if you want to like, comment, share, subscribe, definitely appreciate it. And let's go on to the next article. Looks like Google Assistant notifications come to all wired headphones. Now, this is kind of a neat feature when what used to be with certain brands of headphones. When you're using headphones and Google, or you got a notification, Google Assistant could read those notifications out to you. And that was really helpful if you have, for example, your phone in your pocket. And you're walking around and you get a notification, have that notification automatically read. It used to be something that had to be optimized by the manufacturer of the headset that you got, but now it seems like this is being enabled for all wireless headset. And actually, it seems to be available now. So you should be able to plug in any USB-C or 3.5 millimeter headphones. It has to be running the latest Google app. And what happens is once you do this, you get a notification that pops up on screen. It says talk to your assistant using headphones. Just press and hold the action button on your headphones. And then, of course, you can talk to your assistant that way, and it'll read those notifications to you as they come through. You will have to enable notification access if you have not done so in the system settings, and you'll be taken to that spot where you can do that. You will also have to allow personal results if you wish, for example, calendar events. And when your phone is locked, and that way your Google Assistant can access those when your phone is locked and the headphones are connected, and that way it can read that to you. So check out this article. It'll go a little bit more into it, but that's essentially what it is, and I think that's a really cool thing, and I'm definitely excited for this, and hopefully they come along to wireless, Bluetooth headsets as well, and that'll be good. All right, this next article is out of India. It seems like we need another streaming service out there because there aren't enough of them. So we have a new streaming service for Indian listeners that is called Lionsgate. This is going to stream, looks like it's promising a mix of Hollywood titles and Indian originals. It costs 99 rupees a month, or 699 rupees for an annual subscription. And I'm not really sure if that's like a good deal compared to other streaming services or anything else, but if you're in India, it might be something worth giving a shot, and let us know if you like it. Let's see if we have any comments here. Tabitha says, sadly, some of the features I really liked about Inbox are still not in Gmail. Yeah, that's interesting. What features are those? All right, the next article we've got, blind photographer Pranav Lal captures images using sound. Now, I think we'll try to get him on here if he agrees to come on. I know that he does listen to the podcast. But this is a CNN article that was published, and it's kind of interesting about how he goes about doing this, and definitely thought I'd throw this in here. And he's using the Voice, and we've talked a lot about the Voice app on here and how much I really like the Voice and all its capabilities and what it does and does not do, and how useful it can be. So I definitely recommend that you take a look at this article. Essentially, I'll read parts of it here. It says, Lau mostly uses a smartphone, lining up the phone's camera with the field of view of a camera in his smart glasses. Let's see. He says, I think there's a lot of enhancement possible. He says about the technology that allows him to see. I think we can go beyond organic vision, perhaps, or at least use other kinds of sensors to substitute for organic vision. So this is kind of similar to what we've talked about with Strap and other developers to really try to think outside of the box, and I think he's right about that. Anyway, there's lots of good information in this article, so it might be worth reading. There's a lot of images to kind of have to skip past in order to read the article, but definitely a great one. And we'll see if we can get him in here, probably to talk a little bit more about that as an interview. So I think that would be great. Let's see. POCO is debuting a phone in Europe. Very good. It is called the POCO M3. It has a 6,000 milliamp battery. It has the Snapdragon 662 processor. It's kind of a mid-range chip. Comes equipped with dual speakers, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and dual SIM slots, plus a micro SD card slot. So this is kind of an interesting thing. POCO's usually synonymous with releasing phones that are very much flagship type spec and yet lower in price. This isn't quite a flagship phone, but let's see if it has a price in here, but it definitely seems like a pretty decent phone here. So yeah, I'm not sure I see a price in here, but it may be in here. But anyway, I'll share this article and you can take a look at that POCO phone. And then the next article is also about POCO. They are becoming an independent brand, so they have been part of Xiaomi, and now they're becoming an independent brand. So now we'll no longer be talking about POCO phone as the child of another company. They are their own entity, which is probably a good thing, and maybe it means that they'll get out and be more international and that kind of thing. But we'll see. Snapdragon 888 has been launched, which is good. This is, and they've announced it. This is the what we thought was going to be called the Snapdragon 860 or no 875. But this is why we try to avoid talking too much about rumors on this podcast. They're actually calling it the 888. It is promising excellent specs for what it is. Promising a definite boost in performance for graphics, GPU, and that kind of thing, for artificial intelligence. And also will be coming with that integrated X60 modem, which is the part that I'm most excited about. And so that'll be exciting, I think, for the next generation of phones. And of course, a lot more power efficient and that kind of thing, better for battery, especially with that new modem, because it's just integrated now into the chip. So that's going to be a great thing. All right, let's see here. Pinning messages so they don't get deleted is what Tabitha says. Yeah, so in Gmail you can snooze messages, and that way you can have them come back at a specific time, so they'll be hidden from your inbox. You can also archive messages. That doesn't delete them. They're just archived, and then you can use search. But the pinning feature is certainly not there, so that is accurate. But a lot of the features from inbox did make it over, so I don't know. Looks like we have 12 listeners on here, and this is where I do my promotion of, if you like this content, please like it, share it, subscribe, tweet it, put it on Facebook, Snapchat. Really important because it helps us attract more listeners. And also, if you have any content that you'd like to submit to us, please do so at blindtechguyspodcast@gmail.com. That is the email address, and we'll be happy to answer those on the show. And now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to go to that demonstration of, or that review. I apologize. I keep calling it a demonstration. I keep doing this every week. We're going to go to that review of StreamYard, of Envision. Wow. My apologies. We're going to go to the review of Envision, the interview that we conducted and with Karthik. So let's go to that. And I was looking at StreamYard sharing settings when I was talking. So, all right, here we go. We're going to go to that interview. Beginning now. Nope. Well, hello, everybody, and today we have a mystery guest speaker. Well, my name is Nimmer, and I'm here today with Marco, and we have a mystery guest speaker who is back to talk about some very cool things. Hello, mystery speaker.
Hello, everybody. This is Karthik from Envision. So I'm here to talk about all the cool stuff that we've been up to since the last time we came on the podcast.
Excellent. Well, we're very glad to have you on, and well, let's get started. So, if you want to give us a summary of kind of where you're at or what's new since the last time you came, that would be great.
Sure thing. So I think there've been a couple of big developments with things overall. The first thing is with regards to the glasses. So when we came back last on the podcast, we were still in the process of building the glasses and then working on it. So we now ship the glasses to to everyone who pre-ordered. So that's more than 100 glasses that's gone out of the Envision offices in October all over the world. And we also went ahead and opened up the glasses for anyone to be able to purchase on our website. So that's one big thing, and we've been getting some very early reviews of the Envision glasses coming in from all the people who have pre-ordered them. We also have signed a bunch of distributors in different countries. So we're also trying to basically organize demos for people in different countries we have distributors in, and that's the thing with the Envision glasses. Now with the Envision app, we went ahead and made some big leaps since the last time we spoke about. So we've added a bunch of features like the Envision library, where people can basically save stuff directly within the Envision app, column detection, where people can go ahead and recognize complex newspaper layouts or magazine layouts automatically with the app. And we also added a translate feature. So we added a bunch of features, and we're also going to be adding a couple of more in December. And that's with the app. And what we're doing now with the app is we're running a winter sale. We do a winter sale, a summer sale every year. And I'm also here to talk about that as well.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit more about this winter sale because over here it's summer. So, because it's summer here, do we still get access to that winter sale?
Well, from your part of the world, it's just basically reversed now. You get the summer
Yeah.
sale when everyone
Okay,
else
so we
gets the
still
winter
get it.
sale.
That's good. At least
Yeah,
we're
we
not kept out in the cold, literally.
no, you guys aren't. So it's open for everybody, and you get a 35% off on the annual subscription of the Envision app. And yeah, that is to me it's a great deal because we're basically planning to launch a whole bunch of things in the coming year, apart from the fact that we have launched a whole bunch of things this year. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal, and it's going to be running all December. And the interesting part is, if you're someone who has used the Envision app before and who is and never taken a subscription, so if you had a free trial with us and you never took a subscription, when you come back to use the app, you get another 14-day free trial to try out everything that we introduced again. So not only the new users, but even the people who had an account with us in the past but didn't pick a subscription, when you all come back to use the Envision app, you get the 14-day free trial as well.
That's really good to hear. I think users will be excited about that. Now, I have tried out this column detection. I'm actually very excited about this and that this was added because a lot of OCR apps, as you know, tend to read just right across the page, and that's not very helpful when you have complex columns. And so it's very good that this feature exists. And now, just for our users, does Envision automatically detect when there are columns on the page and then go into this mode, or is this something that users have to trigger?
Right. So by default, the this option is turned on for everybody. So you just have to go ahead and use the app like you would always, and then it would just recognize the columns automatically, and then give you the right reading order of the columns. Right. So that's basically what the app does. And if you want to go ahead and turn off column detection, you could just go into the settings and then turn it off. So for example, we're still working on things like being able to read menu cards and things like that. So that doesn't work really well with column detection at the moment, for example. So you could just turn it off if you want to, and then it will read things like how any other OCR app does.
What kind of feedback are you getting from users? Are they enjoying this new form factor? It makes it a lot easier to do OCR, or
The early feedback that we've been getting has been quite positive. In fact, it's been, I would say, overwhelmingly positive because of two reasons. One is the fact that people are finding this new form factor of having to wear the glasses and do things a lot better than having to use their phone to do things. So that's the biggest feedback that we have from a bunch of users, that this whole thing of having to use it with the glasses makes a big difference than having to take out your phone. So we've been having a lot of users say that they now exclusively use the glasses instead of having to use their phone to do things like OCR or scanning and things like that. The second feedback that we've been getting that has been extremely positive has been the video calling feature. So we've seen people use that feature a lot ever since they got the glasses. So being able to video call someone directly from the glasses is nothing short of a game changer for a lot of people, because when they're out and about, or when they're in the kitchen trying to do things, or when they're trying to get something done, they just use the video calling to go ahead and just get help there. And even when it comes to basically learning how to use the glasses, they actually use video calling to call their friend or a family member, so that they can work with them on how to align, say, documents with the camera, and things like that, right? So the video calling feature and the fact that they can use it, like the glasses, and they just wear it and do things, I think that has been the biggest positive feedback that we've been getting from the community. We've also been getting some other feedback that which we can work on. For example, helping them basically take photos more easily with the glasses, which of course we're working on right now, and improving the object detection and so on. But the feedback overall has been really positive because of these two things, like the fact that they could just wear the glasses and then the video calling bit.
No, that's fantastic, Karthik. Of course, we spoke to you back on September 20. So, God, that's gone quick. I can't believe how fast that's gone. I actually thought we'd only spoken
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. But anyway, it was apparently back on September 20 where we've entitled it Envision AI Making the Impossible Possible. So, in the last 3 months, you've literally gone from almost a prototype, because I remember back a few months ago we spoke about what was going to happen with these glasses, to it actually already being out with people. That's amazing.
Yeah, it has been a roller coaster year for us. Like, we started to work on the glasses officially, not officially, but yeah, we started to seriously work on it at the beginning of the year, and then COVID hit, and things just took a huge delay in a bunch of areas, and we still kept working through it. So it's actually the team that's pulled through so much in the last few months. And even with the app, when we spoke about the app in September, we didn't have column detection, we didn't
No.
have the translate feature, we didn't have the Envision library, so we didn't have all of these big things. And it just in the last few months, we really were able to like get all of these big things out of the door one after the other. So yeah, it has been a pretty intense few months for us. I really didn't realize I came back in September.
Yeah.
I also thought that I came a few weeks
No, well, I
ago.
just had a quick look at our website, and I couldn't believe it when I saw that it was September 20. I actually thought it was only a few weeks ago. So there you go.
Time flies.
Yeah,
It certainly does. What I was also going to ask you though was, in terms of the glasses, now, can people order these through you, or do they have to go through a distributor in their own country? How does that work?
it does work both ways. So people can order the glasses directly from us, or they can go ahead and order them from a distributor. So they can order the glasses directly on our website, and we can go ahead and ship it out to them. And or if they want to go ahead and get an experience of the glasses, so we have a form on the website which says which is about requesting a demo. So what we're doing is we're signing up distributors in multiple countries, including the US, UK. We're talking to one in Australia right now, Australia, New Zealand. We have already signed distributors in Germany and Netherlands and so on. So what people can do is they can request a demo, and then go ahead and have one of the distributors contact them and schedule a demo. But I don't know how much that's going to happen with all the COVID that's happening. But you can also go ahead and order the glasses directly from us. So there are two ways to do it, and people can choose how they want to go.
And if they do order the glasses through you, how does it exactly work? Do you ship them out, and then the person would obviously pay for the item? Like, is it an upfront payment? Can they pay it off in installments? Like, the only reason I'm asking is because some people are, money conscious, etc., especially in the blindness community. How does that work?
For sure. So
Oh, sorry, guys. Looks like I got kicked out. So let us do screen share. And I'm going to go back a little bit because I'm not sure quite where it cut off, so I do apologize. There we go.
Which says which is about requesting a demo. So what we're doing is we're signing up distributors in multiple countries, including the US, UK. We're talking to one in Australia right now, Australia, New Zealand. We have already signed distributors in Germany and Netherlands and so on. So what people can do is they can request a demo and then go ahead and have one of the distributors contact them and schedule a demo. But I don't know how much that's going to happen with all the COVID that's happening. But you can also go ahead and order the glasses directly from us. So there are two ways to do it, and people can choose how they want to go.
And if they do order the glasses through you, how does it exactly work? Do you ship them out? And then the person would obviously pay for the item. Like, is it an upfront payment? Can they pay it off in installments? Like, the only reason I'm asking is because some people are, money conscious, etc., etc., especially in the blindness community. How does that work?
For sure. So we don't have like a payment plan of sorts at the moment. So when they order on the website, they go ahead and pay the money upfront. So basically the way we work is since we're a really small startup still, right? What we need to do is we need to place an order with our suppliers, with our hardware suppliers when we get an order. So we just basically go ahead and place an order when people place an order with us, and then we get the glasses. We put the software on them and then ship it out to customers. So that's how this works. So when they're buying it on our website, they need to pay upfront. If they're buying it through a distributor, yeah, there could be other ways for that they can get the money reimbursed. So for example, in the Netherlands or in Europe in general, it is possible for insurance to pay for the glasses sometimes, or for the government to subsidize the glasses and so on. I'm guessing this could also be the case with the UK and Australia and few other countries. Yeah, if you work with a distributor, you have that option, and when you buy on the website, you can go ahead and make a purchase and pay for it upfront, and then we'll ship it out to you.
It's definitely important that you guys work with the distributors, because obviously the countries are certainly different. I know, for example, here in Australia, the government does support purchase of such items. So however much the item happens to be, the government will support you in purchasing. So that will make a lot of difference to people in Australia, for example, and especially in the UK as well. They do have schemes like that available. So good to hear that you're working
Yeah.
with distributors.
Yeah, we are, and the response from them has also been like really positive. So one of the reasons why we're not able to send demo units to podcasts like yours is we're sort of swamped with orders at the moment from distributors and from people ordering on the website. So we're basically trying to get as many glasses as we can and then ship them out as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's also been quite positive with the distributors overall in that sense.
That's good to hear. Now, are you experiencing any issues or users? I guess, what is the battery life like? And are they experiencing, the glasses are kind of small. Any issues with thermal or heating or anything like that?
No, nothing of that sort. Like I think so. Our biggest concern was also battery life when we were shipping out the glasses to people. But that has not really come to that's not given us any headaches so far. So people are quite happy with the battery life. We are working on improving the power management within the the glasses a lot more in the coming updates. But then so far, most people are happy with what they're getting in terms of the battery life. Because yeah, like the two things that we really optimized within the glasses for battery life are like the video calling feature and the text recognition part, and those are the two things that people are really using the most right now. So in terms of the battery life, they're pretty sorted, I guess.
Sure. And then how's the camera and low light? Is that something that you recommend using a phone with instead of the glasses, or do they perform pretty well in low light?
Right. So at the moment, the glasses don't have like they don't come with an LED. So there's no so when it is extremely low light conditions, like for example, if you're in a dark room, then the glasses don't really work as well as as your phone does, because you know you have like a flashlight on your phone, whereas you don't have that on the glasses. So we're trying to talk to Google. We're trying to figure out other ways to actually add like a flashlight to the glasses, then as an add-on or something of that sort in the future. But what we're also working on right now is to tell users if the lighting conditions are poor before they take a photo or after they take a photo or when they're trying to use the glasses. Sort of give them a warning that hey, you know, we don't think the lighting conditions in this area are good. So that's an update that we're working on right now and should be going out in January.
With these glasses, obviously you purchase the glasses. Is there any thought down the track in terms of when you release future glasses? Will you be reducing, you know, new products, new glasses? Therefore, the person who wants to update needs to pay for the new glasses. How is that being approached down the track? Is it the approach of we have one set of glasses and it will continue to update, or is the approach that you will release future glasses, etc.?
So the plan is to keep supporting the current generation of glasses as much as possible, right? And we are looking into other hardware units, like we're looking into, for example, Oppo released a smart glasses just a few weeks ago, so we're looking into that. We're looking into a couple of other smart glasses as well, but we're yet to find a smart glasses type that kind of works as well as the current glasses hardware do. So we're going to continue to keep supporting this hardware unit as much as possible into the future. And then as in when we introduce new models, if it doesn't make sense for us to support the old glasses anymore, and this I'm talking about years down the line, right? I'm not talking about the next year or the next couple of years or even the next 3 years. I'm talking about years down the line. If we find out that yeah, it's going to be hard for us to support both the like multiple classes at the same time, we might choose to not support one, or we might choose to like sort of sunset a particular version. But knowing that this particular the glasses hardware that we have right now, that's based on Android, and knowing the way the software is structured internally, we're definitely going to keep supporting the current glasses hardware as much as possible, because it's based on Android. It's all the software that we have right now with regards to the glasses are for Android, and we're gonna and the glasses themselves are quite powerful enough, and we feel that there's a lot more that we can do with the glasses hardware right now.
Now, can the glasses run external apps at this point?
No, not at the moment. So we don't have
Okay.
support for external apps at the moment. We are talking to a few select. I mean, like we spoke last time, right? We are talking to a few select apps at the moment, like Be My Eyes and a few other guys at the moment in the same space as us. And we're trying to talk to them, and we're trying to work with them to get them on board the Glasses platform. So that's a work in progress still, and we're definitely going to have other apps on the Glasses platform. But yeah, I don't think so. We won't be really supporting the fact that anyone can install any app on the Glasses, because there are so many constraints with putting software on the Glasses right now. So yeah, but that's not there. But we're working with like select folks like Be My Eyes, and we're talking to Ira and a few other people, and hopefully early next year we can get them on board, and we should be able to go ahead and then offer people the option to have not just the Envision app, but also all these other apps that people like.
Are you running into issues with getting hardware? I think you said that you're having to place orders with a hardware supplier. Or do you imagine that you're going to run into issues obtaining this hardware?
Not really. So we don't have a problem with obtaining like new hardware. So as and when the new orders come in, we place orders with our hardware suppliers. So there's the only problems, is the usual stuff that you deal with, logistics and customs and
Sure. Yeah.
all that stuff that goes on when you place an order. And yeah, that's one of the hassles that we have. And also because of COVID, things are getting a little bit delayed than they should,
Yes.
right? So that's the thing. But I think it isn't as bad as we thought it would be. Yeah,
Good.
going into COVID, we thought, okay, yeah, I don't think we're going to get any glasses this year. So, but we're still getting them. Just that there's a bit of a delay, and there's always this headache that comes with talking to customs. And yeah, it's a lot of like a lot of legwork.
So I guess before I move on to the app, I have a couple questions on that. I will ask this question and see if Marco has anything else on the glasses. If users want to obtain these, what's the best way to obtain them, and what is the price?
Okay, so as of now, the best way to obtain them is you can purchase them directly on our website, or you can also go ahead and reach out to us via the request a demo option and let us know like in which country you live, so that we can try to sort of connect you with the right distributor if we have a distributor in that country already. But if you want to get the glasses as soon as possible, then the best way to do it would be through using the Envision website. And the glasses are going to be retailing at 2,999 euros. So 3,000 euros is excluding taxes is the cost of the glasses on the website.
Okay. And what is the amount of time that it takes to ship?
As of now, it's we are expecting about 3 weeks. Yeah, it's around 3 weeks to ship the glasses from the time you place an order. So it could be a little bit longer. I'm guessing based on the holiday season and if there's some delays there, but 3 weeks is what you can expect.
But you did mention that obviously the glasses run on the Android platform. Speaking of on that, people that are using iOS phones, are they able to utilize the glasses?
Oh yeah, for sure. So basically, the way we built the glasses are running on Android, and but you can still go ahead and pair the app, so the glasses with any smartphone, be it iOS or Android. So we already have like lots of iOS users, and most of the glasses users are iOS users. So they basically go ahead and pair the glasses with their phone, and then we use Bluetooth to communicate things between the glasses and the phone. So that whole process is buttery smooth on both iOS and Android. So that's not really a concern for end users.
No, I just wanted to clear that up just in case anyone that's perhaps not very tech savvy or just doesn't understand how these things work in terms of, the glasses might run on Android platform. You can use them on any device of your choosing. So never fear
Yeah.
if you're an iOS user.
If there's any possible way to get a recording, I think the users would like to hear sort of what it sounds like or what the interface is like. I don't know if there's any way to get something like that or to refer users to a place where they can hear that.
I think what I can do is after after this recording, I can just go ahead and send you a few. So we do have like a playlist on YouTube where
Okay.
there you can go ahead and experience or get a sense of what it is to experience like unboxing the glasses. What should you be doing after that? So it's a tutorial of sorts, and we also have webinars where we are demonstrating the glasses as well. So I can go ahead and give you links to both, and maybe you guys can actually put it in the podcast or link it in the show notes or something like that. That would also be okay.
Okay. Now, the Envision app, I know that you talked, we've kind of been disjointed a little bit. We talked a little bit about some of the new features. We've talked a little bit about the library. We talked a little bit about column detection. One interesting thing, you mentioned Translate. Can you tell us a little bit about Translate?
All right. So the translate feature is the feature where you can go ahead and translate documents that you're either scanning or importing into the app to over 50 different languages. So what the app does is that it would go ahead and recognize the language of the page, and then so it would detect the language that you want to translate from, and then you can pick a language that you want to translate to, right? So we have 50 different languages that you can pick from, like right from Arabic to Hebrew to Dutch and Spanish and almost all the languages that you can think of, and
So
you
they
can
do
go
right
ahead
to
and
left
translate.
languages. That's good.
Yeah, you also have right to left languages, not just left to right. So you have all these languages that you can translate to, and then the app would go ahead and translate the documents themselves to that language completely offline. So that's what the feature does. It allows you to translate the documents directly from within the Envision app. So earlier people had to, like, if they want to get something translated, they used to scan the document with Envision, copy the document or export it, use Google Translate, and then
Yeah.
get the output out. But now you can do everything within the Envision app, and you can just, like, save it within the Envision app itself. So it's a lot more convenient for people when they want to read, when they want to translate the documents they're reading. And this also is on both iOS and Android. Yeah.
It definitely sounds
Excellent.
like the Envision app is getting a lot more powerful, which is great. And the translation, and I know that I actually do quite a bit of translating of documents for a couple of people here. Is it utilizing the Google Translate feature, or is it your own system that it's utilizing, just out of interest?
Right. So we use the Google Translate, feature. So we use not specifically Google Translate, but we do have a translate software that basically is powered by Google. So it's something like that, right? So because they do a much better job than they would do a much better job at translation
Know
than
quite
us.
a lot
So
of the
we're just
others.
gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna rely on the experts where we can.
Now, is there anything new that's coming up ahead, or anything that you want to tell us about that's coming up, or anything else that you'd like to tell us about today?
Oh, for sure. I think I told you guys about the winter sale that we have at the moment, but we're also working on document edge detection. So like, that's the next big thing that we're working on right now. So what you would be able to do is you'd be able to scan documents, when you're scanning documents, it would give you which particular edges of a document are visible, not visible, and so on. And this is going to also be on both iOS and Android. So that's a feature that's coming out in the first half of December. In the second half of December, we have a bunch of improvements, like we're adding a search feature within the document reader. So you'll be able to search for things that search for stuff that you've scanned. Like if you want to search for a word or a phone number or an address or an email, you'd be able to do that from within the Envision app. We're also having an option where you'd be able to play the output the output of the document in the background. So a lot of people have been requesting that. They're like, okay, I want to scan the Envision app, hit the play button, and then just put the app in background and then hear the output, like how I would do like a podcast or an ebook, right? So we're going to be adding that in the second half of December, and we're also going to be adding an option to export documents directly in the background. So if you have a 200-page PDF that you've imported within the app, and you don't want to wait for the 200 pages to finish exporting, you could just go ahead and hit the export button, put the app in the background, and then and keep moving on with other things. So just go out of that page and do other things within the app, and we'll let you know when it's done. So these were some of the other much requested features, and they're all coming out in December. That's sort of our big Christmas gift to everybody in the Envision community.
Well, if you do end up doing that, you might find that a couple of the apps that I have on my phone, a couple of the reader apps, might be going back home to mama, so to speak, because I think I might be using the Envision app a bit more often. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think our focus, throughout the last few months of December, and actually throughout 2020, the focus has been to try to make the Envision app the best text recognition app there is out there. And I think we have gotten there, and I think we are going to definitely cement our position as the best text recognition app out there in the coming months. So like I mentioned, we have all these features that are coming, and then we have more coming out early next year, which I would talk about when they're out. But those are also some massively requested
secrets.
features.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, secrets.
Yeah.
I've got to come back again, right?
Yes, we have to bring you back again. Yes.
Either that or
Yeah,
we
I
pay you
can't.
lots of money and you can just tell us now. Which one would you rather do?
I like coming back on the
Oh,
show, so
okay.
I'm
You
gonna keep it
turned
a
down the
secret.
money offer. Very good. I like this.
Yeah,
Now I have a feature, and I think
yeah.
now I have a
But
question about the search feature, and I think it would be
sure.
kind of a great way to enhance the search feature. Now you mentioned that you can search for something in the document and find it. I think what would be really cool to do is kind of maybe using AI or something. If I search for phone number or address,
Mm-hmm.
because I may not know that something on the page is what it is that I'm searching for, right? I might not know what the exact phrase is, but
Mm-hmm.
if I can search for a specific item like a phone number, it'd
Yeah.
be really nice to have that phone number or email address or whatever it is found, rather than having to know exactly what to search for. Is that
Yeah.
something that you
Yeah.
guys
So
might consider adding, or is that something that's going to work at the search feature?
It's going to be part of the search feature. So basically, when you're searching, right, you can filter for phone numbers, emails, or addresses, or websites, and so on, right? So when you say, in a document, show me all the phone numbers that are there in the document or on the page, right? So then Envision would automatically go ahead and say, okay, these are the phone numbers that we found in the document, and these are the phone numbers that we found in the page, and so on, right? Or if you're looking for for email addresses, you will say, okay, these are the email addresses that we found on the page or the document, and then you can search through that. Like you'll be able to do a quick search of that. So we'll help you filter all these different items out, like email addresses or phone numbers, and so on, and then you'll be able to go ahead and search through them, or you can just search for the document if you already know what you're specifically searching for, and we'll tell you, hey, this is where we found it in this page, and so on. So does that
That's
answer your
quite
question? Is
helpful.
that what you're looking for?
Yes, that's very helpful.
Yes. So that's what we're working on. So yeah, we're, like I said, we're doubling down on this whole text recognition thing, and wanting to be the best that there is out there. So I think any kind of a feature request that you guys might have from your user community, please feel free to send it to us, and rest assured we would work on it.
Well, my feature request is a long-standing one, and that is using an app that does text recognition for reading signs. Now, this is a
Mm-hmm.
little bit difficult, of course, but one of the very helpful things to know is what direction is the text in? Again, this is something the voice does because it plays the audio in the right channel or the left channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, if there's some kind of a directional arrow, line, something like that, what direction is that arrow pointing, or what direction is
Hmm.
that line in? So if there's a sign, I'm using my phone or the glasses, and I see something says exit. Where is that exit?
Hmm. Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
something like this, I think that's a feature request I would make, and I have made of quite a number of these OCR apps. And because it's one thing to use a text recognition app to read your mail, and it's quite another
Hmm.
one to use it in daily life navigation. For example, navigating around an airport or navigating outside, or COVID's going to end; it's not going to last forever.
Yeah. No, I think that's an area of research that we are doing right now. Like we're looking into multiple ways to do this without really affecting performance, because you want to ideally be able to say something like, like pantry to the left or exit to the right, and that's what you're looking for, right? In a sense.
No, I mean, that would be good if it was good enough at detecting those kinds of objects. What I'm looking for more is the text or the signage,
Okay.
not
Okay.
necessarily the object detection. The object detection is, if you can get that thing working really well, then that's great. I think a lot of these apps have object detection, and frankly, it's just not very good. It exists, but it's just not good. And so, if
Hmm.
that's something that can be added, that's fine. But I think blind people specifically, and I know I feel this for me, there's a lot of information out there in the world. You walk outside and there's all kinds of signs and advertisements and things that a blind person misses out on. And
Hmm.
you might think they're pointless, but a blind person doesn't even know these things exist. And so
Hmm.
now, if I pull out my text recognition app, now I know these things exist. Hopefully, the text recognition reads it. It Envision does, but I
Hmm.
don't know the direction of the sign. I don't know the direction of where that text is.
Interesting. So I think what I can do is, once we have a beta of this, I can go ahead and send it to you, and we can try to work together a bit on how to improve this, because
Yes, that would be
this is
great.
also something. Yeah, this is also something that we have been hearing from a few other users as well. So when we actually get down to it, we definitely I'll reach out to you with an early beta. You guys already have a demo subscription of the app, so I think you should
Yes,
be
thank you
able
so
to.
much for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
that.
no, not a
Yeah.
problem. It's for things like this, where we really want to get feedback from the community, from you guys, as to what you think we can improve, what you think is the direction that we should be working on, what do you want to see next. So I think that's what we can do, and when we have a prototype of this, I'll sure reach out to you guys, and we can start
Oh, we
to,
would
to
both
work on it
definitely
together.
be very keen to follow that through, because I know that, well, Nema's certainly got an interest, and so have I, in making something like that a reality, which undoubtedly would stand out from any other scanning app, to be perfectly frank.
For sure.
Now, of course, your website, before we let you go there, Karthik, what's your website? Just remind our listeners.
So if you want to know more about the glasses, you can go to let'senvision.com/envision glasses, or just let'senvision.com/glasses. So that's basically what is the website that you can go to if you want to know more about the glasses. And if you want to know more about the Envision app, you can just go to let'senvision.com, and you'll find more details about the app on our website. So you can always search for the Envision app on your on iOS or the Android App Store and the Play Store, and you can give us a shot, give it a shot. And like I said, you get a 14-day free trial, even if you've used the app in the past and not taken a subscription. We feel that everyone who's coming in during the winter sale should be able to experience all the cool stuff that we have pushed throughout the year. So yes, you can search for Envision AI on iOS or the Android Play Store, and you should be able to find it.
And how long is this winter sale going on?
The winter sale is going to be going on throughout December. So from the
Okay,
1st of
great.
December to the 31st of December, it's going to be going on throughout December. And oh, we have another really cool thing to announce. So we're planning to launch a gift raffle. So for anyone buying the annual subscription during the Envision winter sale, they would be entered into a raffle, and we're going to basically pick one person at the end of the month, and that person would get an Envision glasses for free. So the gift is so it's like a raffle that we're running throughout December. So for anyone purchasing an annual subscription, they'd get like an Envision glasses. They could be winning an Envision glasses for free.
Wow! Now this is a $3,000 incentive to get these to get this subscription. Everybody.
Yeah, yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
I was about to say,
So
you nearly said there, Karthik, that anyone purchasing an annual subscription would get a glasses for free. I was about to jump on that one real quick.
ouch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
that would not
I
have gone down well, especially if you told me to edit it out. Yes.
yeah, that would have that would have gotten my team super pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can imagine. I don't think there'd be any more interviews, sadly. But,
Yeah. They would just like straight up stab me. But no,
yeah,
the
I
thing
can
is,
imagine.
Now, what's the
that's
best
there,
way
and
for
then
users to submit feedback to you? Just so we make sure we have that in there.
the best way to submit feedback is from within the app. So we have in the help section of the app, we have an option called like request a call or give feedback, and users can go ahead and either request a call, and then we'll reach out to you, and then you can let us know your feedback. If you want to have a more detailed conversation about it, you can also go ahead and write to us directly. So the give feedback way option would be able to you'd be able to write it to us, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So that's the best way to give feedback about the app, so that the entire team can see it.
Well, Karthik, we want to thank you, and of course, we want to invite you to come back anytime and tell us about any new exciting news. And let's hope all our listeners will go out and get the annual subscription.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, guys. Like I said, I always like coming back here because it's a more relaxed chat. I really feel like, yeah, okay, I can relax and talk here. So it's a nice thing, and and you guys give great feedback on the product as always. So thank you so much, and thanks to everyone from your community for really supporting the app, and we hope that everyone likes the winter sale. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karthik.
All right, everybody. Well, now we know that there's a winter sale going on. So if you're interested in Envision, pick that up. And of course, that really nice raffle of the glasses. I think that's kind of neat. At least you get to own $3,000 glasses or whatever the U.S. price is. I think that's pretty cool. So it might be worth checking out that winter sale if you have not. And I want to thank Karthik for agreeing to come on and tell us about what's new. And let's look at the comments. It looks like there's some back and forth here between a Tabitha and a Harshid. Let's see here. Thomas says he missed the show. No, you didn't miss the party. Welcome. You can always rewind, and you can always listen to the podcast as well when that goes live. So glad that you're on here. And looking back through the comments here, yeah, lots of interesting comments, and we want to thank everybody for listening for sure. And This is where, before I move on to doing a demo of the Envision app, I want to talk a little bit about our donation page. We do have a donate page now. Some people had asked about how to donate. So if you go to blindtechguys.com, you can go to support us, and on that page, at the top of the page, a support us link, and then you can give a one-time donation and whatever amount that you wish, and any donation amount is appreciated and will go towards funding this podcast and keeping us up on YouTube, and any apps that we might want to buy to demo, or any devices or anything like that. So we definitely appreciate that, and I just wanted to throw that out here for anybody who wanted that. That is up. And also, again, if you like it, if you like this show, then please like it, share it, and make sure that you subscribe as well. And now I'm going to move on to a demo of Envision, of the Envision app, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the new features and demo those. Looks like I have a guest in here, though. I forgot about the guest. How did he get in here?
Hello.
Whoa, how did you get in here?
Hello, Mr. Dimmer.
What? That's crazy.
How did that happen?
1 minute you're gone, and next minute you're there.
That's crazy. I'm like the Chinese spy. Very good. I just infiltrated the show and just entered.
Just like you infiltrated NVDA Con, huh?
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, we might have a conversation about that after your demo. And hello, listeners. And I'd also like to thank Karthik as well. It is always fun chatting with Karthik. I think it shows when we chat to him as well, Nim. We always enjoy chatting to Karthik. And that raffle, Nimmer, we announced it first here, apparently. So he told us.
Yes, that is an exclusive to us.
Yeah.
So.
Which is pretty cool. So just remember, listeners, buy that Envision annual subscription. And no, you won't win a pair of glasses each time you buy the subscription, but you might win one, as he made very clear.
Well, if you buy it, and you could get all your friends to buy it, and they'll buy it, and then if they win the glasses, maybe you can have them give it to you. So I don't know, but
that could work out well. Yeah.
You can also, if you have a lot of different devices or access to different, VPNs. Or all right. Well, maybe
look, VPNs have been used a lot this weekend, but that's a discussion for later on. Oh dear. All right, so we have a demo, I believe.
Yeah, so let's do a demo. And before we do this demo, I do want to acknowledge and say that we are receiving a subscription of the Envision app as a demo subscription from Envision. And so this is they're not quite sponsoring this review, but they sort of are by providing this.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's full disclosure.
From giving my opinions and my thoughts, but I did want to throw that out here because I do want to be upfront with the fact that we are getting a subscription of the app as a result of this podcast.
Well, it's what they call full disclosure. So
that's right.
We're just letting you know.
So, all right. Excellent. So let's unlock my phone. And let's turn it up, and let's turn the speech rate down so somebody's not going to get angry at me.
Control. Links.
We do not need any of the gibberish, Nima.
Slower.
I hope that's slow enough.
Slower.
Oh, very good. Yes.
All right. Now let's open up the Envision app.
Page 2 of 7. Apps. Page 3
Can
of
you slow it down any more at all?
Envision AI.
Well, I don't know. I could slow it
Oh,
down.
well, couldn't really do it much more than that,
Envision
eh?
AI. Selected text tab.
Okay. So I'm not going to bother with the text tab. I don't really have anything with multiple columns to do a demo of right now at the moment, but I have in the past used this feature, and it does work quite well. So it's something to try, but I will tell you where to go into the settings to find the columns detection, which was talked about as part of the new beta, or as part of the new update. Now, one of the things that annoys me about this app is finding the settings is not as obvious as you think, because there's no settings button. Instead, in order to find the settings, you don't go under text.
General
You
tab.
don't go under the general tab, and these tabs are all at the top.
Help tab.
You go under the help tab. So in order to access settings, you go under help. Now, I do wish that they had a separate button that says settings. It would make things a lot more clear.
Definitely agree. Yeah.
But let's go into help.
Help. Selected.
And I'm just going to swipe through.
Glasses. Tab. Account. Heading. Account D. Check subscript.
Count,
What's new?
details, check subscription, what's new, and I'm kind of skipping past these.
Help. Heading.
Help,
Read tutorials.
read tutorials,
Give feedback.
give feedback,
Request a call.
request a call.
Settings. Heading.
And finally, we get to the settings heading. This is not very...
That needs to be separate. You just need to have the settings in one tab and then have what you've just
Yes.
described there in the help, and that's it.
yes,
Yeah,
and
definitely
if they are
feedback
gonna
that will
have the
pass.
settings in the help tab, then they should probably be up top, not...
Well, either call it help and settings. I guess you could call it that as well if you really wanted to
I don't
have it
know,
all in one. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, so let's go to the... Oops.
Offline text recognition. Automatic column detection. When turned off, Envision will not detect column automatically. On. Switch.
This is a really confusing statement, but let me tell you what you need to know. If the box is on, which should be by default, column detection is turned on, and I find all these settings to be really confusing personally, and I will be sending feedback along to Envision about this. You know, when you listen to that, it makes it seem like you should turn the thing off because it talks about, well, if it's off, then it'll do whatever. But it doesn't tell you what it actually does when it's on, and the default is on. So it's really confusing. But you want it on. And when it is on, it will do automatic column detection. Now, there are some instances where you might notice that it's kind of not doing columns very well, or you don't want it to read columns, down columns, in which case you will want to turn this feature off.
And I will comment here as well. Nim. I think one app that does this really well, for example, is Bitwarden. Now, every setting that you get in that particular app, straight after that particular setting is a description of what it should do. And I wish more apps would do this. So maybe when we submit feedback, we might suggest that. I think even for just basic users that maybe have only just touched this app, they don't really know much about, what they're doing. It's great to have a description as to what it does, even if it seems trivial to some of us. I think that sort of information's, definitely required. It should be in every app.
Well, and they give you information, but they seem to give you information about what
It's
the setting does when
convoluted.
off, not when
Yeah, it's
not when
convoluted.
on.
It
So
needs.
it's just-
Yeah. I agree.
Now,
Yeah.
here's another annoyance I have with the Envision app. Before I move on to the library feature, every single time I go into this settings, every single time, I want to back out of the settings, and so I hit the back button, because literally in every app that I use, pretty much, that's what you do. When you go into settings, you want to get out of settings, you hit the back button. In this case, settings is a tab. If you hit the back button, it actually closes out of Envision. So let's hit the back button.
Back. One UI home. Envision AI.
Oh wow.
So I've closed out of the app.
So it doesn't even take you back to the main screen. Or actually, it should actually take you back to the help screen.
Well,
What they call the help.
Screen, the help and
Yeah.
settings are all the same. So no.
Oh, they should take you back to the main screen. Yeah.
But it doesn't. What it does is it closes out the app. And the reason is that all the tabs are at the top, and every time you trigger one of those tabs, it just pops that up on the screen. And then to switch tabs, you actually have to go to the top and switch to the next tab. So if I was all the way down in
Envision
settings, for instance, let's go back to settings.
Glasses. Tab. Help. Tab.
Oh, no, help. Oh,
Help.
see, I forget.
Selected.
It's help.
Dark mode. About Envision. Processing sound. Off. Switch.
So I'm down here to turn off the processing sound. Now, if I want to go back to the text tab, then I have to go all the way back up to the top.
Settings. Request a call.
But actually, I have to swipe up first because the tab
That's what I was
doesn't
gonna
show
ask
up
you.
because not all the options are shown.
Yeah.
So I have to swipe up with two fingers. Then I have to find
Account. Heading. Text. Tab.
the text tab.
Wow.
Text. Selected.
That's not really an ideal interface, and I hope that they'll consider changing it. It's just not an ideal interface. I don't
Ideally,
know,
I think it would be better
for
if we had the
visual
tabs
users,
at the
it may be
bottom.
good, but it's just not. It's not really an ideal interface.
Should really have
It's
the
not-
tabs at the bottom, and then it should just
Yeah,
do
the
it that
tabs
way.
should certainly be at the bottom, but also when
Yeah.
you're in settings, if you hit the back button, it should really not
It
close
should
out
go
the
back.
app.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, let's go
Interesting.
to the next item, which is the library. Now, in order to find the library, this is another obscure thing that I really wish, if they're going to have a library, they need to have a button that just says library or a tab or something. But in order to find the library that they've talked about, so you can use it to read your books or documents or whatever, what you first have to do is in the text tab,
Help. Glasses. Magnifier. Turn flat. Start reading instantly. Read document.
You have to go to the setting that says
Tap this button to read multiple pages. Import a PDF file or an image.
tap this whatever this. I don't know. You heard
Read
what that long
document.
description
Read
said.
document. Yeah.
First, a button description almost never says tap this because that's just redundant. You should know that you should have to double tap a button to activate it. And so that's just kind of a redundant thing. You don't need to have a button that says tap this. That's just, you have to listen more. I don't know, it's a cognitive overload, I think. Again, more feedback we'll submit. But let's tap on this. So you have to go in here. And then you have some other options
Read
that pop
multiple
up.
pages. Envision library.
Read multiple pages or Envision library. Now, it doesn't make sense to me why you should have to go into read this, tap this, whatever thing to read multiple pages just to access the library.
Yeah, you've gone
Let's
two
go in
steps
here.
to just get to the library. That's
It is
interesting.
a lot of steps. Let's go into the
yeah.
library.
Envision library. Navigate up. Button.
All right.
Import file. You don't have any documents in your library. Tap import file. Button.
And so now I'm gonna import a file. I don't have any files in my library, so let's import a file. And I have a document in my Google Drive that's actually a manual for my microphone.
Import image.
So let's
Import
go
file.
to, there are some options here.
Import
We
from
have
glasses.
import from glasses. Since I had import file, this menu comes up. Import from glasses,
Import file.
import file,
Import image.
or import image.
Import file.
So let's import a file.
Recent. Show recent. Sir. More. Not check. Not check. Browse files in other app. Bug.
Let's see what those
Large
checkboxes are.
files.
Large files, that's a box that you can check. I'm not sure why there's that checkbox or how large files should be, if you should check it. That option doesn't really make any kind of sense.
Not checked. This week.
This week, again, I don't really know. I think maybe
Well,
that's just
there's
a way
still
to
too
sort
many
by.
options here just for
Browse files
like
in other
importing a
apps.
file. Like
Bug
seriously.
reports. Amazing AT&T Drive.
So let's go to Drive. I'm going to find my file in Drive.
Show routes. Drive. My drive.
Let's go to My Drive.
My drive. Show routes. Files from drive. Nimer Jabber 1 at G. List view. AKG Lyra QSGEN
There we go.
092019BW.pdf. 1.19 megabytes. 2045.
Okay, so here's my file, so I'm going to double tap on it.
Processing.
It's processing.
AKG Lyra QSGEN 092019BW. Navigate up. Button.
And now it's popped up, and on the screen I have some controls towards the bottom.
What's in the box? AKG Recents. Save to library. Jump to page. Next page. Stop. Button. Play.
So these controls are really
Play,
small,
save
so
to
if I want to like
stop,
tap
button.
on them, they're kind of small. I wish the touch targets weren't so small for these buttons.
Play. Button.
So we have
So
a
I'm
play,
gathering the play
stop,
will read it
button.
to you.
we have a
Clearly.
stop.
Page 1 of 3.
It has the page count.
Next page.
Next
Button.
page,
Jump to page. Button.
jump to page, and that will allow you to choose which page you want to jump to.
Save to library. Button.
Save to library. So let's just save it to the library. Why not?
Processing remaining pages.
So, Nima, this is kind of doing what the
Progress bar.
voice reader
Document
does,
saved to
in a
library.
sense. So you could
AKG
read your
Lyra
PDFs and
QSGEN
stuff using this, obviously.
092019BW.
Yes, this is what @voice does.
Navigate
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yes, it does. And now, but what they've done is they've allowed you to be able to lock your screen while it's reading, and it didn't used to do this.
Oh, somebody didn't used to like that sort of feature. But
Yes.
Stop. Home. Export. Play. Button.
So let's hit, and there are some controls along the
Stop.
bottom now.
Page 1
We
of
have
3.
play,
Next. Jump
similar
to page.
controls,
Export.
but
Button.
instead the save the library button is turned to an export button.
Translate. Button.
And then there's also a translate button, and this translate will let you translate this to different languages. So let's just play it first.
Play. Button. Pause.
AKG Lyra Quick Start Guide.
AKG.
Harmon. Congratulations on your purchase of the AKG Lyra. This guide will provide you with the basics needed to set up and operate your microphone right out of the box. Lyra is a professional multi-pattern USB condenser microphone that delivers pristine studio quality recordings. What's in the box? AKG Lyra microphone. You
Play.
All right, so that's play and pause, and I can easily jump through the document.
Stop. Next page.
So let's go to next page, and then let's hit play.
Export. Button. Connect. Export.
If I can
button.
find the play button.
Play. Connect the USB. Play. Button. Pause.
controls and connections. Headphone volume control. Mic capture mode LED. Indicators.
Play.
So have you noticed I've gone ahead and switched pages, and that works just fine. Now, let's see. Let's try the translate feature,
Export. Translate.
since this is also new and they've talked about this.
Navigate up. AKG. Auto detect. Translate from.
Auto detect.
detect
All
button.
right, that's good.
To.
Translate
Yeah.
to.
English. Button.
Let's go to
what languages
Chinese.
are available.
Auto. Africa. Albanian. Arabic. Arabic.
Let's go to Arabic.
Arabic.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Translate to. Done. Done. Button.
And let's hit done.
Less than untitled greater than. AKG Lyra QSGEN 09201. Export. But play. Button.
Try playing it now.
Pause.
Yeah.
الروابط والاتصال سماعة حجم التحكم ميك التقاط الوضع مؤشرات ليد ميك كتم الصوت وصلات لرا تم تصميم لتكون بسيطة للاتصال وسهلة الاستخدام على منصات متعددة.
Play.
So it translated it, and of course my language switching is set to so where it will switch and it will read in that new language.
Was that actually
So-
fairly accurate? Out of
Yes,
interest?
yeah, that's pretty good translation. I didn't go through and read that entire document in Arabic, obviously, but
No.
it's pretty accurate, and it's using the Google Translate, so it tends to be pretty accurate.
Now, I'm going to make a comment and say that feature, because it's quite well, I would consider that to be a very handy feature. And as I said in the interview, I'd be more than willing to use that. But you have to jump through hoops to use that in Vision. That should be on the front page. It should be easily accessible. A lot of people are going to struggle to find that because, as you just demonstrated, Emma, you've got to go, I think it was 2 steps before you even got to that feature,
Yes.
which I think is just... It needs to be obvious. It needs to be on the front screen. It's a good feature to have. So why not advertise it?
Now we have some comments here. Nimmer, you're a bit soft today. Not sure what's going on with that, so I'm sorry about that. Tech Explorer says hello. Hello, Tech Explorers. Thank
Hello,
you for
Tech
joining us.
Explorer.
Volume on the stream is a bit low. I'm sorry about that. It sounds okay here. I don't know what's going on. Are you all able to turn your volumes up a bit? Harshid asks a question. The stream's almost over, so I don't think we're going to mess around too much with volumes
No.
at this
We'll
point.
have to
but
play
we
around
will
with this
work on
next
getting
week.
it right for the next time,
Yeah.
so I apologize for that. But we will get it right next time. Let's see here. Harshid, which device do you like best? Samsung or Pixel with Envision AI?
Well, they're both
Makes
the same,
absolutely
really.
no difference,
Yeah.
frankly. When you use a device,
Well,
when
the
you use a
cameras
device these
doesn't
days,
really matter.
the cameras are all pretty
Yeah.
decent, so it just doesn't
Yeah.
make much of it. It's all about which device you like to use on a day-to-day basis. Pixel works well, Samsung works well, they all work well.
And
That's
it's
my view on
frankly,
that.
all devices these days, whichever one you're choosing to use, they all have decent enough cameras. You really don't need a top-notch camera to get stuff like this to work. So,
Yeah. Tech Explorer volume's at 80% and still too low. I'm sorry, Tech Explorers. Maybe try turning it up to 100. I don't know.
I'm not sure what's going on. I was listening. I was listening on YouTube earlier. Tech Explorer. To me, it sounded pretty good. I don't know. We'll have to play around with this, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. So let's see. Let's talk about our giveaway
Oh yes. Mm.
before I look at.
And then
listener
before we look at listener emails, I'm going to briefly mention NVDA Con very briefly
Oh yes, yes. we have to
because
talk
it
about
really doesn't deserve much more than a brief mention.
that. No. All right. So we have a couple of giveaways that we're gonna do, and I haven't quite decided which, and that part of it depends on if we can get a sponsor to sponsor any of these giveaways or the subscription or something like that. We're working on that, but we're going to have 2 giveaways, and they will be something that is something that you want, something that is going to be substantial. It's not going to be a $2 gift certificate or something.
Piece of plastic.
It's not going to be a piece of plastic. It will be something significant. Now, there's a couple of things that you're going to have to do, and first of all, the first giveaway is going to happen when we hit our 10,000th play on Buzzsprout. We just surpassed 7,500. Of course, we're probably going to have a party at that time too.
Yeah.
But when we reach our 10,000th play, we're going to have a giveaway. And what you're going to have to do, because I can't actually see who listens, I can see your location. I can see if you're Lake Stevens, Washington, that you're a bot and you download a podcast 78 times. But I can't actually see if who you are. So what we're going to have to do is pass, make sure that you have access, and we'll put it in the show notes, access to
We'll keep you
Google
updated.
form.
Yeah.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
We'll pass along
Yeah.
a Google form, and you'll have to fill that out with your details to enter into the drawing. That just tells us, hey, you're a listener, and it enters into a drawing. You'll also have a chance to sign up to our mailing list at that time. You'll have a box you can check that says, yes, I want to do that, or no, I want to remain anonymous. Don't bother me. So there's that. The second giveaway is going to happen on YouTube. Now, this one may take a little longer, and I'm going to do this one for 1,000 subscribers.
Just to let the listeners know about the first giveaway, just so that you've got a little bit of a timeline, you're probably looking in early-ish January for, well, considering
Yeah, it'll
the
be a
way
good
our
New
numbers
Year's
have been
present,
going.
and
It'll
if
be
you
a good New
share-
Year's present.
If you share this, it'll happen even sooner. It might even happen
Yeah.
next week, but you have to share it. You have to get it out there. You have to really get other people to listen.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of up to you a little bit. Now, the YouTube one is far off, but I think we can eventually get there. The goal I'm going to set that to, and if it seems too high, we might adjust it later down the road, but a goal I'm going to set that one to is 1,000, because we would like to grow this channel. We're up to, I think, 110 at this point, so we've got a ways to go. But the way we get there is, again, if you share the YouTube channel, get everybody that you know to subscribe. If you have 5 Gmail accounts, go in there and subscribe them all. I don't know, but
Hey, that's fraud and corruption.
okay, all right.
Uh-oh.
Well, if
We can't be kicked off YouTube for that sort of thing, can we?
I don't think so. I don't know. Well, I can't control what anyone does with their YouTube.
No, that's
so,
right.
But all I do is I see a subscriber count. So if we get that many people, then that one's going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing a Google form or whatever, I'm going to look and see who's been contributing to the YouTube, who's liked, who's shared, who's commented, who's chatted with us, who's been interacting. And I'm going to pick somebody from that pool. I'm going to put those people's names. So it's more than just you need to subscribe. You also really need to be active. You need to share it, comment on the stream, on the chat, whatever. And so I will put your name in a drawing, and then and that's how we'll do that. And
I think,
I'll
Nimmer, we
announce
can
that.
say that prize is going to be somewhat significant. Nimmer and I will chat
Yes.
about that, and believe you me, listeners, it will be worthwhile. So,
Oh, it will be worth
that
our
one's
while. And
definitely
it will be worth
worth
our
your while.
while, and it will be everyone's while. So
yeah. We want to give a little bit back to the listeners, and we've definitely, in the last, especially since, late June, early July, we've really grown, and we really appreciate you guys being a part of it. So that's our 2020-21 present to you guys. So looking forward to that one, Nim, and let's hope that happens sooner rather than later, that second one as well. Let's
yes, I'm
let's make
hoping
it happen,
so, but
guys.
again, it's up to you. The more people that you share it out with, the more people are likely to subscribe. The quicker we'll hit that number. We grew, I think, by 30 or 40 just in the last couple of weeks.
Yep. Indeed.
All right, so we got a couple of comments here before we move on to NVDA.
Yeah, I might start that one off when you've read those comments out, Nim.
Yeah. Tech Explorer wants to know what the difference between a condenser and a dynamic microphone. Well, we have an audio person that's a lot smarter than I am, so he can tell you a little bit. But what I know is a dynamic tends to be a little bit better if you need more sound rejection. But he'll tell you more about the difference.
Essentially, Tech Explorer condenser mic, you talk into the side of the microphone and it goes about picking up noise from around you. So it has a greater scope of picking noise up from around you. If you're in a very untreated room like Nimmer, for example, you would probably be better off using a dynamic mic that tends to have you talk into the end of it, and it blocks out a lot more of the rejection from around you, generally. Not always. That's the quick and easy explanation of it, essentially.
And the reason they're called dynamic is because of how they're powered, essentially.
How they're powered, yeah. And of course, the condenser mic needs 48 phantom power from a mixer or a any sort of Behringer or Focusrite type input source. So there you go. Hopefully that makes sense to you.
Harshad says some folks may think cameras might make differences. Thanks for clearing up things for our listeners. We are essentially a blindness podcast, and we aren't receiving any kind of monetary support for doing this podcast. But I'll tell you what, if you would like to send me a proper camera and some proper lighting and all that stuff, or if you'd like to donate that for the channel, then by all means do that, and I will make sure that we have video for every one of these streams. But
we will actually do the stream. We will pre-record the streams and put up sexy video of Nimmer. I don't know.
maybe I'll be
Hopefully dressed, dancing on your head or something. I don't know. And I'll even get myself a camera. There you go. See, I'll have a camera. It won't just be my whatever the background is at the moment. I actually don't even know what my background is. I've got no idea. Maybe somebody that's got eyes can tell me. I don't know. Yeah. But yes, we concentrate on more about talking rather than the visuals. So
yeah, and this is first and foremost a podcast. The YouTube, it may change, but the YouTube is not. We don't have that many subscribers on YouTube. We don't have that many plays on YouTube. So it's important to us. We want to grow it. This is why we're doing that incentive of.
And the other thing about the YouTube side of it, and I guess to let our listeners into the whole, picture side of things, is that to put a podcast up, Nimmer and I do need to do quite a lot of work on it. And the YouTube, frankly, it's a difficult task with the, what do I call it, YouTube Studio and all that sort of stuff, and then tagging it and doing all of that. So if somebody wants to help out with that, feel free. If you want to make the YouTube channel more professional, we will more than gratefully take that on, because just the podcast alone, I think Nimmer and I would easily spend at least 3 or 4 hours each week on this thing. And then plus the midweek show, the notes, the audio, it just is a lot of time. I guess we only have so much time to give. So any help with the YouTube channel, feel free to offer. We will definitely gratefully receive that, that's for sure. Now, Nimmer.
I guess Harshad was talking about Envision's camera usage. Sorry, Harshad. I thought you were talking about us being on YouTube. Yeah, it makes no difference with OCR apps. It makes no difference whatsoever. The cameras have been fine for a while. Where it does make a little bit of a difference is in low light. If you have extremely low light, then the cameras tend to be making a little bit more of a difference. But honestly, even with a pair of Envision 800, or not Envision, these are called Vision 800 glasses, which run the voice. And these are old. These are running Android KitKat or something. And these have a, 5 megapixel camera, about really crap.
They're pretty
average.
They do
just
specs.
Fine with OCR.
Yeah.
They do just fine.
They do. All right, so let's. I'm going to kick this off, and Nimmer, let's keep this brief because I think that's probably a good idea. All right, so I attended NVDA Con in bits and pieces over the weekend, and I've only ever, I think, attended about an hour, and that was about 2 years ago. Now, I've only really got a couple of things that I want to say about this. If you have a conference for blind people and visually impaired people, and for just promoting a product, which is a fantastic product, don't get me wrong, you want to make that conference as accessible to anybody out there, and you want to have as many people easily be able to attend that conference. I don't understand. Look, I understand, and I know a lot about the app Team Talk. It's a fantastic app. It does sound very well. It does all that sort of thing very well. Why, in God's name, would you have a conference on Team Talk when these days the majority of people, and yes, COVID-19 has made such apps as Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, all these other apps very much come into the forefront. But why on God's earth would you have a conference run on Team Talk which again, said before, is a very good app. It does things very nicely. But let's face it, people, a very small majority of advanced, intermediary, and basic users use the app. I don't understand, Emma. I think if you're going to be promoting a product like NVDA and you want to reach out to as many people as you can, you need to make yourself available and accessible to pretty much anybody. And the other thing I'm going to say about this is that, honestly, you had 50, I think the maximum that I saw today was 60-something people tuning in on an app like Team Talk around the world. Honestly, that is a joke. That conference should have 1,000 or a couple of thousand people watching that, especially considering the product is as popular as it is. So I really want to push to people running the conference that you consider the fact that you want to make yourself available and accessible to anybody around the world. Ditch Team Talk and come up with the times, guys. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, I'll throw two things at this real quick, and then I'll move on. One thing, first of all, if you watch the keynote today, you will have you will know exactly why Team Talk fails. You will know why you should not use Team Talk. All you had to do is watch the keynote, which, by the way, had to be restarted a couple times. Actually, by the time it really got going, it was something like half an hour later.
Oh, more. 40 minutes, I think.
More, 40 minutes. So there's that part of it. And then the second thing, I don't remember the second thing, but if NVDA, the second thing was, the numbers. During the keynote, which is like the most popular part of the conference, 60 some odd, I think 62 people participated.
I saw 60 something there,
Now, a lot of those people were the organizers. So 30 people were the organizers and the moderators and the NVDA staff themselves. That's not very impressive. That's actually really bad. And
it's terrible.
I do hope that they will take that on board. And, we say things as they are on this podcast. We don't claim to represent the community or anybody else or tell people what they should or shouldn't do, and that's fine. But we just tend to say things as we see them and say our opinions. And if you agree, then let us know. If you disagree, let us know that as well. But I do really hope that they will consider a different platform. And
I'm all about, I want to make sure, I want all of these companies and people that we talk about, I want people to be able to find these things easily. Trying to get somebody that knows nothing or very little about computers to get involved, who might really like NVDA, to get onto a platform like Team Talk, which is still fiddly for a lot of us that are intermediately or advanced users, let alone somebody that knows nothing about the app, is just painful. I don't care how good the sound quality is. And honestly, you get more than 50 or 60 people in the server that they were running this weekend, and it was a joke. The thing was breaking up. It was just laughable today.
Well,
laughable.
I was in there, and I have gigabit internet, and I got kicked out a couple of times. I don't get kicked out of any other streaming platform. I've got excellent internet.
And I'm sorry, guys, from NVIDIA, if you think that we're being harsh. We're not deliberately trying to be harsh. We're trying to suggest that you really need to ditch this app. Honestly, you want to get with the times of today. Most people, and I don't care what the argument is, but it's got good sound and it's this and it's that. That's just rubbish. Yeah. Most people couldn't give two hoots about this, whether the sound's slightly better or not. People just want to be able to access it, and they want to be able to contribute easily. And they want it to be monitored properly and recorded easily. That's the other thing. Recording that thing on Team Talk is a joke. But come on, think about it. It's been suggested many, many times, not just by us, but quite a few people, I'd imagine. Listen to what people want.
Oh, yes. So just go to the opening forum number 1, and the very first topic that came up was... Oh, my.
Anyway, but that's beside the point. The keynote today, and I know that they've got a few more sessions later on tonight. One's about that might be of interest to people if you're into audio and stuff, is the Reaper Forum, and if I'm still awake at 11 o'clock at night, I'll listen to that. Otherwise, I might not.
Yes.
But yeah, look... Anyway, that's enough said about that, I guess. And whether they take that feedback on or not, I hope they think about it and they consider what we've had to say about it all.
Well, guys, we are at 7,540 total listeners. We need to hit 10,000 for that first giveaway. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to Blind Tech Guys podcast. You can do that with your favorite podcatcher or right on the Buzzsprout website. And we definitely appreciate that. Now let's look and see if we have any listener emails. Oh, I do. Yes, I have one from Michael Ryan. He sent this on Monday. It says, "Hey guys, here's an audio recording of my recent apps displaying incorrectly and a podcasting method."
Okay.
Okay, so he sent us an audio recording. I have not listened to this recording. I thought it was a text email, so I apologize. But we'll go through and listen to this recording. And let's actually...
I'll mute myself, and then if you want to pop it up, we can... If you want to share it, I guess.
Yeah, so he demonstrates his issue, and I think we remember last time he talked a little bit about what his issue was, and he demonstrates his issue. We'll go ahead and listen to this, and I'll go ahead and send this off to Marco. We may edit some parts of it and then play some parts of it next week, but we'll try to address that question. I just haven't listened to that message, and at the moment we're almost out of time. This is a lengthy enough message, so apologize, Michael, that we have not gotten back to you, but we will do so on that email.
And Michael, we may well, depending on how things go, I know that there was something, I'm not sure if you mentioned in the news or not, Nima, re an Apple event this week. Another Apple event. I thought I put that in the news, but maybe not. I can't remember. Anyway, we might have a midweek podcast, Michael, so if we do, we'll answer it on that show. Just remind me, Nima. I'll put a note in my little phone here. Otherwise, we'll discuss it next week, so apologies. But we will get back to you on that one.
Got an email from Lindy Bull.
Oh, yes, I know Lindy.
"Hi, guys. I've just started to listen to your podcast, and although you are often over my head, I am learning quite a lot. I wanted
must
to
be
comment
flying high.
about your demos. You are obviously very practiced users of the tech, and the rate of text-to-speech that you use is just too fast for me to follow. I was very interested in the password managers, but just couldn't follow how about slowing it down." Okay,
yeah, we've had a
Lindy,
bit of
I truly
feedback
appreciate
for
your
this.
email, and we do take on board your feedback, and I will take on board that feedback. Next time, we will be sure to slow that down. What I will say is if you listen to that podcast and you tune out the speech that you couldn't understand, I don't know if there's a way, try to tune it out and then try to listen to what I say or what Marco says. And what you'll find is that we read out all the options that we passed through anyway. So whatever JAWS was saying or NVDA was saying, we read those options out anyway. And so it's true that the speech was probably a bit fast, although I thought my NVDA was a bit slow. But we will onboard that feedback, and like I said, we will slow down the speech for everybody to understand. But in the meantime, to go back and listen to that podcast, if you can just tune out the fact that there's speech and understand the speech doesn't give anything that you missed. It doesn't give anything relevant to the podcast that you wouldn't get from just listening to what we say. We went through the options, and part of it is the password managers are quite complex, of course, and so we didn't go through every single option, and a lot of that is just for you to play with. It was more kind of a demo of like a get started of this is what the password manager is like once you get it up. We may even do a set up a password manager demo, because that would be a little bit interesting too from the very start, just to go through their websites. But for that last podcast or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, like I said, just try to ignore the fact that there is speech and just listen to us speaking.
Now, I'm trying to find this message that was sent through, and I think I put it on the BTG Telegram group, Nima, but I haven't. Did you have it handy there? It was from a Facebook, from Sam on
sure.
Facebook. I'm just trying to go back quickly through this BTG.
Yes, BTG hit a high today of 12 listeners. Yes, we did. Thanks for
Yeah, we
noticing
did.
that, Harshad. My goal is that we get a lot higher than that. But 12 is great. I think that's a really good number. You know, when we started out, we'd be at 0, at 1, at 2. So I'm glad to see that.
So just bear with me. I'm going back. Okay, we're back to the 1st of December.
Marco's trying to find an email or something, or a message. I don't know.
Okay, I'm struggling to find it, but anyway, I've gone all the way back unless I've missed it. We might have to cover this in the midweek show, and I do apologise, Sam, if you are actually listening to this episode. I did tell you that we'd try and get this issue sorted out. I know you were having some sort of issue installing, or there was some setting in TalkBack that you were having an issue with, and I just can't. There's been a lot going on this week. I honestly can't remember exactly what it was. I'm just trying to. I know Austin answered it as well on here, but I just.
I'm not sure where. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to visit this one either midweek if we do a quick Apple wrap-up podcast, or we'll just have to come back to it next week, I think. So that's 2 emails, Nimmer, that we'll have to come back to, or 2 messages that we have to address next week.
That's it.
Yeah.
But we will get to those emails, and we do apologize. I'll try to make sure next time that I see. It's the first time we've ever gotten an audio demo, so I definitely appreciate that, Michael. And we will be sure to look at that and listen to that, and maybe even play some of that on air next time.
And when we do say that we'll get back to you, we definitely will get back to you. So don't feel that it's just going to be forgotten about. It will be addressed next week or midweek. Right.
Well, I want to thank all of you guys for listening. It's been a bit of a marathon, and thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up some of the issues that we had in the beginning, and I'm sorry for the volume issues. We'll get that sorted next time. And please like this if you have not already. Share it out. Subscribe if you're not already. Remember our 2 giveaways, either 1,000 subs to YouTube and comments and chats and all that, or the 10,000th play, and then we'll send out a Google form with that information, and we'll put that up easily accessible for anyone to find, so you can fill that out.
Yep, it'll either be in the show notes or we'll pop it up on some various email lists. It'll
be
or on our Facebook page. It'll be up everywhere. You'll find it easily enough. So,
and please remember that we do have a donate link. That's definitely appreciated, and we hope that you enjoyed this content. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, everyone.
Nima, we'll catch you either midweek or next weekend. And thank you, listeners.